unbelievably great in the whole rehab process. I think he's coming along. He's probably where he needs to be. We didn't practice him today. We kind of had him on a little bit of a load management deal, bringing him back so we don't injure him somewhere else. He has been able to do that.
I'll have more in a moment.
Hello, Tide fans. This is Chris Stewart for Conecuh Sausage. Conecuh's an Alabama fan favorite we all know and love. It's made from the finest cuts of pork, their patented blend of seasonings, and smoked over a pure hickory fire for that true hickory smoked southern flavor. Conecuh Sausage is always great on the grill and perfect for tailgating. Pick up a pack and enjoy your family's favorite recipes at any meal of the day. Conecuh Sausage, a game day tradition, and the official smoked sausage of the Crimson Tide.
Join us tonight for Hey Coach and the Kalen DeBoer Show, live from Baumhauer's Victory Grill in Tuscaloosa at 6 p.m. You can listen to Hey Coach across our full radio network, the Varsity Network app, as well as watch the video stream on all Alabama Athletics social media platforms. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by Conecuh Sausage. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
And with that, we welcome you back in brand new live edition Talking Ball. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond, welcome in. Talon Heating and Air getting us started, as always, right out of the gates. Their guys working hard right now, getting their day started. 256-503-4490. Give them a call now. Let their talent do some work for you. It's Talent Heating and Air, talenthvac.com. Give them a call. Find them online 24 hours a day. They can help you. They're live. They're local. Tune-ups, indoor air quality, service repair, ductwork, natural gas, system installation, you name it. Thomas, Terry, Jeremy, they can do it all. 256-576-4977. It is a Wednesday. That means one thing and one thing only right out of the gates. It is time for our 8th grader prognosticator. We welcome in our good buddy Grady the Greek on a Wednesday. Good morning, bud.
Morning.
How we doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How about y'all?
We're doing good. Is it fall break this week?
No, sir. It's next week.
Ooh, okay. All right. Well, a big one Saturday in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt gets off to the fast start, scores the first touchdown. Alabama answers after that second half. We all know the story. Alabama defense rises. They get the job done. Your thoughts on the Alabama-Vanderbilt matchup first?
I mean, just exactly what you said. The defense stepped up in the second half. I thought they did good blocking the run. Yeah.
Everything good. Your Ty Simpson was your MVP last week, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. What do you think of Ty? Do you put him as a Heisman candidate right now?
Yeah.
Okay. We're putting you on the spot there. But that's good. All right. So this week, the road does not get any easier. Alabama traveling to take on Missouri this weekend. 11 a.m. kick. Are you nervous at all first about an 11 a.m. kick on the road?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit? Okay, so let's get your thoughts on Alabama and Missouri.
Well, Missouri can run the ball pretty good. So, that's the only thing I'm worried about, us not being able to stop the run.
Okay, your prediction?
Alabama 34, Missouri 28, Ty Simpson MVP.
Wow. Because
he's going to have to play good every game.
I would completely agree with that analysis, Grady. I've actually gone almost exactly where you are. I had it 34-27, but I think it is a true trap game because, you had the emotional win over Georgia. Everybody said Alabama had no chance, and that's all Georgia had been waiting on, and then they take care of business. And it was the first time in history that you ever picked against the Tide. And so I did as well. And we were both wrong, and we were glad to be. And then last week, I thought Alabama was very businesslike, and you knew they wouldn't overlook Vanderbilt because of last year. But now this game is in between playing the Vomits next week, and everybody knows what happened in that game. And Alabama beat Mizzou last year 34-0. This is a different Missouri team, though. I do think they have a better running game. They're especially with Ahmad Hardy, but I know you just picked Ty as MVP. So what is your rationale from the standpoint? What must Alabama do in your mind to win this game over Missouri as a football team?
Stop the run.
I love it. I love it. Short, sweet, and to the point.
And then offensively, is the key in your mind the passing game? I think they need to start fast, and I think Missouri's secondary can be had. But what does Alabama need to do offensively in your mind?
Run the ball and Ty keep playing well.
There we go.
So
See, I love it.
balance.
I love how it's just short, it's sweet, and to the point. All right, bud. Your shout out for the week.
I still got another game.
We're going to.
He's going.
He's going to. I should have asked that from the beginning, one or two.
I know which one he's picking.
I know which one he's going with. I'm going to say it's the Deep South's oldest rivalry, Auburn and Georgia.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Georgia 24, Auburn 17. Go Dogs.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, but see, though, he's right, because remember, we said yesterday that these games have been a one-score game.
Yeah.
These games have been a one-score game. So his pick is staying within the trend of it being a one-score game.
If Grady's right on this, as far as this being another, really close game, and I agree with him on this too, except I may go the other way. I haven't made up my mind yet.
Right.
But I think that Hugh Freeze will not get fired if it's
that score.
If it's 30-3, then he'll be on a Greyhound bus out of town. But I think if it's 24-17, then it'll ratchet up the importance of the Iron Bowl, because the Iron Bowl will be in Jordan-Hare Stadium.
All right, but now who's going to give you a shout out to?
Here we go.
Shout out to my aunt Nat.
Okay.
Nat.
There we go.
First time she's got a shout out, man.
I think so.
So we're learning the whole family here.
We are.
Yeah.
Do you get requests for those?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes.
Just wondering.
I love it.
Just why, but
I know he gives it to his classmates.
He
sometimes.
does.
I wonder if they dap him up when he comes in.
He does.
Yeah.
All right, but enjoy the week of school and enjoy fall break next week. But we'll get you. We'll get you next week.
There's nothing like fall break before you play the Vomits.
That's right.
Yep.
All right, bud. Well, enjoy the day of school.
Yes, y'all.
Thank you.
All right, Grady the Greek, kind enough to join us this morning.
Short and to the point.
It is. But that's, you know what, though? I love the mind of how some, especially Grady's in 8th grade.
Yeah.
And he's joined us now, and this is 6 years. He started as a second grader prognosticator, and he's worked his way up through. But I just love it. Sometimes when you look at a game, you can overanalyze it.
Yeah.
You can break it down so much that when you look at it, you overanalyze it. Sometimes just short, sweet, and simple is to the point. 34-28 Alabama over Missouri, and 24-17 Georgia over Auburn. Grady the Greek's picks for the week. And it kind of leads into this. Did you see that on Saturday, the Alabama-Vanderbilt game was the most watched college football game of the day? 6.4 million people tuned in to watch the Alabama-Vanderbilt game on Saturday. And I mean, there's a lot to laugh about that, because, the last time Alabama and Vanderbilt became the highest watched football game is crazy. It topped Florida State and Miami. That had 6 million viewers in prime time. Texas and Florida had 4 million viewers. And that was your other game that ABC had and all that stuff. In all, on Saturday, 7.9 million people tuned in to watch SEC football. And so, we go to SEC Media Days and you start talking about the transfer portal and you start talking about NIL, and everybody talks about NIL and how a lot of this stuff is going to ruin college football, and college football is going to be changed forever, and we don't know what it's going to look like. But apparently people still clamor on a Saturday, regardless of how it is off the field with the NIL and the courts and everything else. People still tune in to watch college football.
Well, I mean, from our good friend from WHBQ Sports 56 in Memphis, Tennessee, Brett Norsworthy, that's his mantra all the time, that the sport is still very, very healthy and very, very popular, even if people don't necessarily like where it is,
right,
as far as off the field and some of the things they're working on. But, I would agree. I think everybody still loves the game. They complain about some of the things, and I don't blame them, because NIL needs to be fixed. The transfer portal, speaking of that.
Yes, we've got news on that.
Yeah, we've got some news that is not surprising at all. But again, the sport is ever changing and evolving, and the future is going to be very interesting. But I think the popularity is still there. Certainly, you see full stadiums, and got things like the SEC network are thriving. And, they, at least in our part of the world, in the United States, college football is still very, very popular. I think it's still very, very popular throughout the U.S., even if it stinks.
There has been some really, really good football on the college level, and there has been some really bad college football.
The bottom of the Big Ten, or at least half of it.
Well, and that bottom of the Big Ten caused some waves this past weekend. So, I mean, look, it's still unpredictable.
Yeah.
College football is still unpredictable.
And I'll say this, the SEC is as wide open as it's been ever. I mean, you don't even really know who the best team is. I couldn't tell you. It might be Ole Miss right now, but we don't know. Ole Miss is the highest ranked team. And who would have ever thought that back in Atlanta? Nobody would. Everybody was too busy wondering if Arch was going to turn pro this year and be the number one pick.
True that.
Wouldn't even be a first round pick this year. So
I mean, we're 5-5. Yeah, we're almost to that halfway point of the season. 12 games. We're almost there. But
I will say this in Arch's defense. I still think he can be a good player. I think a lot of it has to do with his supporting cast. And I mean, he hasn't been great, but to say he's an all-time flop already, you can't say I
don't agree with that. Yeah.
In the preseason that he's the greatest prospect we've ever seen, and then turn around and say he's the biggest flop in history. These are the same people that drafted Trey Lance number 1 or whatever the hell it was, number 3, based on one game in COVID against Mo, Larry, and Curley. Okay, and they convinced themselves, he's Carson Wentz again. We better draft him number 1. We better draft him in the top 3. Mac Jones is a perfect fit, but who gives a damn about that? We've got to draft Trey Lance because he can run fast and he can throw it a long ways on the FCS.
You know what I heard?
Whatever.
You know what some idiot put out on X yesterday that covers college football?
Who knows?
That Texas needs to take a look at Arch Manning and decide whether or not they really want to bring him back next season because of his performance this year.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 3/4 of the season still left.
But why? I mean, that's not even the case.
I mean,
he's making his first full season as a starter. You're going to have ups and downs.
I mean, you certainly are. I mean, look at the ups and downs.
I'm not defending him. I'm just saying that's.
But look at Jalen Hurts' career. It's a perfect example. He was SEC Offensive Player of the Year as a freshman.
Right.
His second year, by the end of the year, he lost the job to Tua.
Right.
Then he came back his third year and he was a backup. And then he left and went to Oklahoma and became a Heisman candidate, a second-round pick, and now he's won a Super Bowl. So he obviously kept getting better. So you can't just sit there and write somebody off because right now they're not lighting it up like you thought they might. The thing is, he's having to go up against excellence because his uncles are Hall of Fame players. Peyton, a Hall of Famer. I think Eli will be a Hall of Famer.
Right.
Both of them won 2 Super Bowls. And then his father was a good player whose career was shortened by injury. But you have to give the kid time to develop, man.
Let me ask you this. If Ty Simpson had started as a college freshman, because, Ty Simpson is a Heisman.
2 years ago.
That's the thing. That's my point.
Now
if Ty Simpson.
Hell, you know what I saw yesterday? It's Theismann. Somebody said Theismann. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
right. But Ty Simpson wasn't this product 3 years ago when he arrived at Alabama.
No, he had to develop and mature.
Right.
And then he's in a great system with really good players around him. But they're saying Theismann. And then in the preseason, they weren't even sure, is he going to be the starter? I mean,
yes,
of course he's going to be the starter. I mean, I've been the first to admit it on this show. I wasn't convinced back in the spring yet. He had to win the job, but I did think as the things that I heard as camp went on and spring football went on, and then as we matriculated and we switched to fall camp, you were hearing great things. But heck, man, I'll tell you what, I was watching podcasts after the Florida State game. Now, I didn't say this. I didn't come on this show and say it. There were people saying Ty should be replaced because he wasn't throwing the ball on time. Hello? 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 Where are those people? Hello? Hello? How drunk were you? What were you taking in your coffee? I mean, one game, and anybody that has a football IQ above a brick, I'm sorry, but if you watch the game and the guy and your wide receiver with the colored nails needs a sack, I mean, it wasn't all his fault.
Right.
And the left tackle, who's now a cult hero because he can catch screen passes and run as a fullback, couldn't block a true freshman. Okay, and I'll be honest with you. If things go bad Saturday, the same crap's going to start again. It's going to be like
you're
Groundhog
right.
Day.
No, you're right.
So
you're right.
Just everybody calm down and let Arch Manning develop.
Look, when you win, a lot of things are covered up. The feeling of winning hides deficiencies. It hides what you need to work on lots of times. It hides, small things. It hides it because you win. And so you take for granted that if you win, you're 100%. You're playing at your best. Everything is perfect because you win.
Yeah.
When you lose, a lot of those things they boil up, they surface up. And look, Kalen DeBoer and even Steve Sarkisian, they'll tell you they're not perfect football teams.
Yeah. Alabama
still has things that they need to work on. Things that Missouri can expose. But because Alabama has won 4 in a row, sometimes you start to gloss over a little bit of those deficiencies.
Well, I mean, I think, certainly Ty had some deficiencies in the last game, holding on to the ball too long. He admitted that. I mean, he held on to the ball, took about probably 3 sacks he shouldn't have taken. So he's going to have to work on that. No question about it. We had someone text in and say, well, look at Arch because he's playing in the SEC. He's playing against SEC competition. The Big 12's garbage. But I will say this. If he was playing in the Big 12, he might have played at a little higher level so far.
Right.
But the counterpoint is they have struggled against non-SEC teams offensively too.
No, they have. They have.
And it goes back and then
but remember, Arch had a 300-yard game. He had a 300 all-purpose yard game this past Saturday.
Yeah, he did. But also the point is this, too. His offensive line, and we just mentioned that anyway, is not very good.
Don't have a great running game.
Or the wide receivers. I think everything around him needs to be better, and I think he'll be better. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing for a quarterback to struggle a little bit. I mean, again, Jalen Hurts did, and he got better. And now he's a starter in the NFL. So I don't think it's time to discard Arch Manning. I think he can still play, no question about it. I'll say this, if he goes in the transfer portal, he'd be near the top of the list for schools looking for a quarterback.
I think that's completely crazy to think that's just not even.
And you can't do it after 5 games, man.
No.
You just really can't because nobody – I know this, and thank goodness, thank goodness that Ohio State woke up last year. Because how much crow would I have had to eat making fun of 1988 the way I did? because 1988 lost to Northern Illinois in the second week. I was giddy. I was excited. I didn't think they had a chance in hell of making the playoff. They end up in it. And then, for God's sake, they end up in the national championship game, and you got all these national media just giddy. I mean, Nicole Auer-Stoop, she's on Notre Dame. She had to say Notre Dame every other tweet. Oh, they're going to win it. They're going to win it. They're my pick. No. They did not win it. They lost. Who cares who finished second? Nobody cares. They still hadn't won anything since before they had DVDs.
Well, we got to get our break in this morning.
Hell, I was watching some highlights.
Hell, you're fired up.
Alabama, Notre Dame, man. And I forgot Lou Holtz was already there in 86 and how young he looked when Ray Perkins handed him his ass. Wow. I was like, that was actually when Notre Dame was relevant.
We got to get a break in. We'll get back. We'll get to your
2 years later for the final time that we have seen. And hopefully the last time ever.
We're going to get to your phone calls next, I promise. 256-576, really. 4977.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopé. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
You'll love the expanded wine selection at Liquor Express. From special occasion to everyday table wines, they've got what you need. Meet your friends at the largest tap wall in Alabama with 105 rotating selections. Then take home a growler full of your favorite or choose from our 1,000 canned or bottled beers. Need help stocking your bar or planning your party? Liquor Express has a knowledgeable, professional, in-house staff that can assist you with anything from your bar to the planning of your special event. Visit liquorexpress.net for tasting specials, giveaways, and classes.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list, and maybe a little scary. But it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Tom Abraham here for my friend Mike Owen at Owen Home Appliance Center. You know it's hot outside, so cool down with an upright or chest freezer in stock at Owen Home Appliance Center. And don't let those beverages get hot. Get an under-counter ice machine with a built-in pump for just $12.99. Or how about a fridge out by the pool or in the garage for extra cold drinks? You can get a scratch and dent 18 cubic foot refrigerator for just $3.49 while supplies last. Go to OwenAppliance.com to learn more. That's OwenAppliance.com.
Talking Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
Out in the West Texas town of El Paso, I fell in love with
welcome
a
back,
Mexican
Talking Ball.
girl.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Nighttime would find me in
nice.
Rose's Cantina.
Rosie's Cantina.
Yeah.
Let's go out to the phone lines. Let's visit with Brandon real fast. Good morning, Brandon.
Of course, we'll have Brandon on with Marty Robbins.
And Moulton's mom's dancing in the living room somewhere. So I might have to hold it down.
There you go.
We talk about every year about all this Heisman crap they put out.
Yeah.
And then what actually ends up happening. Well, I remember the year
not
Derrick Henry won it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the year Derrick Henry won
The
it.
Leonard
You had,
Fournette
JT Barrett.
Invitational. Yeah, and JT Barrett.
Yeah, and Cardale Jones, and all of them were going to win. Well, you know what? JT Barrett and Cardale Jones didn't even finish in the top 10 in voting that year.
Yeah, good point.
Leonard Fournette finished, what, 5th?
Yeah, he fell way off.
Yeah, the season will tell you who people are. And these Heisman odds, I have to say, of obscure Heisman odds other than RG3, Joe Burrow's got to be right there at the top of that list, wouldn't he?
Well, going into his senior year, yes. He had a solid junior year, but I remember talking to Matt Moscona, respect the heck out of him. But when we had him on in Atlanta, he said, they're changing the offense. I'm sure of that, because that was when Joe Brady, who's now the OC for the Bills, was coming in.
Right.
And working with Steve Ensminger, he goes, but I'll have to see it to believe it. Is what he kept saying, that they were going to go to a spread system and throw the ball. But we saw it early, and we saw the big jump that it was kind of, and then it repeated itself. Well, a few years later, so that's with Jaden Daniels. So we've seen it twice happen with a quarterback who transferred, had a solid first year, and then exploded his second year.
So, by the way, back on August 15th.
Yeah.
Okay. These were your Heisman odds back on August 15th. Before the season. Arch Manning was plus 600. Okay. Cade Klubnik from Clemson was plus 900. Garrett Nussmeier was plus 900. Jeremiah Smith was 12-1. Lenora Sellers, 16-1.
Oh, my Lord.
Drew Aller, 18-1.
Yeah.
Ty Simpson was 18-1 at that point in August 15th. Ty Simpson was there. But then real closely, Carson Beck, Sam Levitt, DJ Lagway, Julian Sayin. Those were some of the names high up on the board.
5 of your first 6 are in the toilet. That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah.
Probably never to return. I even heard somebody yesterday talking about bench Klubnik. Give the other kid a chance.
He had the second best odds back in early August.
Yeah.
Well, in early August, I put $100 on Ty Simpson.
So
we'll
really?
see where that ship goes.
Oh, boy.
Well,
I figured it was worth throwing it away.
I mean, if it was 18-1,
is that the odds you got?
For my season tickets next year.
That'd be 1,800 in profit.
So,
I'm gonna tell you what.
and y'all said something about Lou Holtz.
Yeah.
Is it bad that I miss Lou Holtz and Mark May arguing the way they did when they would argue their case on Saturdays?
Nope.
I kind of missed that. That was fun.
Lou Holtz's last, so I saw Lou Holtz. Lou Holtz attended the Notre Dame Arkansas game.
Saw that.
And had a little mini press conference there before that game.
He was invited. He coached both schools. That's right. Yep.
Well, when him and Mark May used to get up and argue on Saturdays on that show, and there were some good ones on there. They were highly entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of wish they would bring that skit back. I guess you could do Pat McAfee versus Nick Saban and see what you could do with that. But that was a really good skit that I missed, and I wish that they would do. But Scott Tyson, right now, if you sat down today and you said, these are my Heisman top 3, and these are this is how I think this is going to play out, who do you see and what do you see?
Whew.
Lord.
I would put Ty Simpson in there.
Yeah.
You would have to now. I'm gonna watch Saturday. I'm gonna watch the Oregon-Indiana game
because
Dante Moore and the cat from Indiana. Yeah,
but he played Cal.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna look at him.
The winner of that game, that quarterback will be way up there.
Yep.
And if Indiana wins, I'm never going to hear the end of it.
And then, I mean, Ohio State is. They've been up there.
Saying and Jeremiah Smith.
But Jeremiah Smith probably more than the Julian saying, but I don't know.
I don't know, man. It depends on how many times he touches the ball.
Yeah.
And this is another thing. We used to see this happen at Alabama.
Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah,
is the kid's name from Indiana.
Because here's the thing. Alabama used to have to spread the ball out.
Yeah.
And what would happen is that and Davante Smith caught fire because nobody was talking about him around this time in 2020 but I think Jalen Waddle getting hurt kind of helped him in a way.
Right.
Because if you have to spread the ball out around, then you don't touch it enough sometimes for people to give you the Heisman.
Julian saying 1,300 yards so far, 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions for Julian saying.
But I'll just say this, Ty Simpson's numbers are better than his. And so now Ty needs to beat Missouri because if he doesn't, that's going to damage his chances greatly.
1,478 yards, 13 touchdowns, 1 INT for Ty Simpson.
So they're slightly better than Julian saying right now.
Yeah.
Well, if Ty Simpson wins the Heisman, but Alabama doesn't win the national championship, say we go 10-3, 11-2, something like that. Drew, how do you feel about the season?
I think if they make the playoff, it's successful.
Yeah.
I'm in that camp. I think if we make the playoff and have a high Heisman finish,
you can't raise a bunch of hell if they're in the playoff. I mean, don't be in this changing climate of college football. You can't be stupid and say, well, we didn't win the national championship. It's a complete failure. You have to understand how hard it is to do, and especially how hard the league is you're playing in compared to the rest of these conferences. No disrespect to Mario Cristobal. I think Miami's a hell of a squad, but they ain't running through the SEC undefeated.
Right.
I'm sorry. They're just not.
Dante Moore, in case you want to know, 1,210 yards, 14 touchdowns, 1 interception. So less yards than Ty Simpson, but he's up there with the touchdowns.
How many rushing yards do you have, though? Because we know Ty hasn't run the ball that much. It's not like he's been ineffective, but he hasn't been asked to run because Dante Moore's a hell of an athlete. So I didn't, I'll be the first to say that I haven't watched a whole lot of Oregon except for the highlights against Penn State.
I haven't either, and we'll look. He's got 122 yards rushing, no touchdowns so far.
Okay.
I mean, but anyway, Saturday, 2:30 game, though. It's a primetime game. It's a national game, 2:30, Oregon, Indiana. Going to get a lot of eyes on it. So there'll be a lot of cases to make after that game. All right, Brandon, thanks for the phone call, bud.
No job, gentlemen.
Yep. It is 7:31. We got to get a break in because we have a first coming up here at the bottom. I should say coming back from break.
Yeah.
We have a first. We'll explain it all when we return. You got to listen to find out what it is.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky this afternoon. We are talking about the opportunity for a little bit of rain across the Tennessee Valley, but as we get into the later part of the day, the rain chances are going to drop off. Highs climbing into the upper 70s, lower 80s, dropping into the mid 50s as we head into the overnight. A partly sunny sky for your Thursday, temperatures climbing into the 70s.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
You worked hard for your 401k, but if you've left your job, your money might be sitting in the wrong hands. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and it's very possible that the 401k that you have had for years has hidden fees and limited investment choices. But if you're no longer with the company, that 401k may be at the mercy of your former employer. All of these things could be costing you thousands. Rolling over your 401k into an IRA can provide better investment options that align with your long-term goals. At Trajan Wealth, we're fiduciary advisors that are held to a higher standard with no hidden agenda and no hidden fees. Don't let your retirement dollars sit in an old plan, and don't roll it over to your new plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. Call Trajan today at 256-208-9000.
Advisory services are offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at Your Home Window. Now is the time to take advantage of their huge end of summer sale and get ready for the fall. Right now, all windows are 35% off. All exterior doors are 40% off. Now you get the whole door, just the price is 40% off. And get this, 0% interest for 18 months, as in no interest, nada, none. As always, the estimates are free, as is the lifetime warranty. To make an appointment, go to yourhomewindow.com. That's yourhomewindow.com.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
97.7 The Zone.
Now on Saturday, you are willing to give a little extra. Then you, because of your preparation and the things I'm trying to get across to you. And if we do that as a team, 11 at a time, 4 years from now, why, we'll be walking out of here national champion. And I'll tell you this, I expect nothing less.
97.7 The Zone. This is your home for Madison Academy football.
Owens in some trouble, eludes a man, flings it to the far flat. It is caught! Right. It is caught by Kreider!
This is your home for the Mustang Zone. Only on 97.7 ESPN.com and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
You're a rich girl, and you're gone too far, cause you know it don't matter anyway. You can rely on the old man's money. You can rely on the old man's money. You're a rich girl, but it's gone too far, cause you know it don't matter anyway.
Love that song, by the way. But
speak to each other anymore.
No, they don't. But I tell you what, each and every week we do a Team of the Week presentation. We have got a gorgeous sounder for that one for our boys' high school football teams. But this one
is historical still.
This is the one we have to play when we honor a team that is not on the gridiron for boys' high school football. Yeah, for boys' high school football. We have done, and Bryant Bank is so gracious, folks. They really are. They tell us during the season, hey, look, we want to still do high school football. But if you see a team out there that deserves a Team of the Week honor, and feel free, not only feel free, but please honor them. And so we have done swimming. We have done wrestling. We have done volleyball. We have done basketball. We have done track and field. We have done cross country. Cheerleading.
Why?
Yes. And so we sat here and we're like, wow, a lot of these seasons are unfolding. There's a lot of great play going on.
And you said volleyball, right?
And we have, and volleyball.
Yeah. Volleyball.
But volleyball. You know what? There's one sport that we have yet to cross off a check mark on. And we have, but it is a relatively new sport in the state of Alabama as far as high school goes. They award it state championships now. For those that don't know, high school girls flag football, the state championships are played the day before the state championships begin in the Super 7. So I believe on Wednesday I believe they play wherever the state championship is, Auburn, Alabama. Now it's going to be Birmingham or Mobile, Troy. They play these games. They play the girls high school flag football state championship. So we thought, you know what? It's time we honor a flag football program.
And I think because of the college football playoff we've been arguing about all morning, I think now it's going to be Troy, Mobile, or Birmingham.
I think Mobile gets the first one, don't they?
I think so, but I know that Alabama and Auburn are out of the conversation.
Yes, they are.
Because of the college football playoff conversation. Both of them could end up hosting playoff games. Heck, Alabama could host one this year. If Auburn gets it turned around, you never know.
Right.
But we are going to make history right now as one of our Bryant Bank teams of the week this week.
Yes.
Are going to be the ladies from Westminster Christian Academy, their flag football team, ranked 4th in the 1 through 5A poll. Because remember, much like soccer, this is not every school plays and participates in
That's
this sport.
right. But
And
it's
like
growing
Scott said,
faster. And Calhoun, remember,
Yes.
Calhoun Community College has added a flag football program for the ladies.
No question. And the head coach in his 3rd season for the Lady Wildcats is on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline with us, taking some time out of his fall break to talk some Lady Wildcats, and that is Coach Preston Webb. Coach, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great, guys. Thank you so much for having me on this morning.
Yeah, I hope you didn't mind that long soliloquy. We had no notes. We sat here and we
one thing kept going after the other.
We wanted to get this right and do it correctly.
Yes.
And pay homage to this growing sport. But again, congratulations to your young ladies on the strong season thus far.
No, hey, listen, I'm totally fine with that kind of intro because honestly, the sport doesn't get talked about enough. I mean, it is one of the fastest growing sports in the nation. And it doesn't get talked about enough. And honestly, it's a great opportunity for these ladies, because, it's another opportunity for them to, get into college and play college sports. It is, growing on the college level. It's actually, going to the Division I committee here in January to add to the emerging sports list. To be added to Division I. So, and obviously all these other sports are great and, but it is so competitive for them to try to get into, to volleyball, basketball, soccer. But now that they have another opportunity for them to go and play the next level, here in Division I, potentially here in January, I wish that, more girls knew about this opportunity. So, it's great that, Westminster has added this team that, now we have, more opportunity for these girls to go and play high school sports. And also one of my favorite things, about that I've enjoyed about flag is at the end of every year when we have our team banquet is, being able to go and hand out, these varsity pins, being able to go and hand out these pins to these girls and knowing that when I hand a football pin to these girls, when they get older, they get to wear these football pins on these Letterman jackets. It's not, saying like, oh, this is not something that I've got for my brother or whatever. It's like, no, I wore this football pin because I played flag football. And that's just, I think it's such a great accomplishment for these girls to be able to stay and do that.
And we want to talk about your program here in a minute, but I do want to say, to your point, flag football, as far as it goes in the state of Alabama, folks, it is so competitive that we not only have programs that are great, we have programs that are ranked in the nation here in the state. And you have played those. You've played Vestavia Hills this year. Vestavia Hills is ranked in the nation. Thompson, or Central Phoenix City, they're ranked 4th in the nation.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, we've got Albertville. They've cracked the nation polls. We've got Moody. They've cracked the nation. We have got nationally ranked flag football programs here in the state.
Yes. Well, we went and played Vestavia. They came up here to Huntsville and played us in Sparkman. And I tell you what, Doug Rogers, who built that program, from the ground up, he did just an incredible job, there over at Vestavia. And he handed that team over to Coach Broom, and I know Doug's going to do great and amazing things, there at Shelton State, building a program down there at Shelton. But they are, I'll tell you what, there's an amazing amount of talent over that team, and I'm curious to see what they're going to do the rest of the season. We're going to play them again down there at Vestavia, but it's just amazing to see, Alabama sports on a national level. And, Central Phoenix City, I mean, they're just a well-oiled machine down there. I mean, they've mercy rolled every single game they've had so far this year. And it's great to see Alabama sports on the national level like that.
Well, hey, Coach Webb, for our listeners, talk about your program from the standpoint. I know that you're in your 3rd year. How many years have you had the program? And talk about the interest level right away, because this is a very good, athletic program, a lot of success in individual sports, but talk about the interest from the young ladies.
So it's actually kind of funny how we got our start just 3 years ago. We had a group of soccer girls that kind of approached me about it and said that, they've heard about flag football that had gotten started in the state of Alabama, and they really wanted to play. So they actually approached our athletic director about it. And he basically told them, like, well, if you get enough girls and you can find a coach, then, we'll start the team. So, they kind of came to me, and I had no experience coaching, but I told them, hey, listen, if you get the buy-in, then I'll do it. I'll lead you girls. And so our first team, we had 18 girls, and 9 of them were seniors. And I mean, they were all, almost all the team was our state champion soccer players. And I mean, just immediately they all bought into the program, and we actually made a run to the Final Four that first year. And just immediately we just built this team chemistry, and it was amazing because, you always kind of have like this soccer culture, this softball culture, because girls have always been on travel ball teams that grew up, playing that. They've always kind of like built this relationship, this rapport with each other. But with flag, you get these soccer girls, these softball girls. We even have, cheerleaders that come, and then it's just kind of just build this whole culture together. We kind of have like this flag football family, and every year since then, we've kind of have this whole just this different flag football culture where it's not just, oh, we've all been playing travel ball together, but all of a sudden it's just, hey, we're all doing this together, we're all learning this together. It's like no one's played flag football together. We're all doing this together. It's kind of like when you go through the military and you're like, well, I've never been yelled and screamed at for an entire summer together, but hey, we're all going to do it together. And that's kind of like, how it was with flag football. We kind of went through that first summer together. It's like, well, we don't know what we're doing, but we're going to do it together. And so it's kind of been that way every year since then. So everyone just kind of immediately bought it from the get-go. It's just been a blast ever since then.
So how did you develop a playbook? How did you develop, I mean, from walking in with not having a know on how to do all this? How did you,
all due respect, did you go Madden or something?
How did you develop all this?
So we actually Coach Adams, who actually is our athletic director,
Jonathan Adams. Yes,
he actually we learned from some really great mentors. One of them was Coach Doug Rogers out of West Davy Hills. After that first year, we just figured out, like, hey, if we want to be the best, we have to learn from the best. We reached out to him and said, hey, you have an amazing team. We want to learn from you. Like, what can we do to just be great? And he was so gracious to sit down with us and just basically just teach us. So he taught us a lot. And also our varsity boys coach, Coach Louis LeBlanc, he actually was a graduate assistant under Coach Nick Saban. And as much as it pains me being an Auburn alumni, it was great to actually learn from him. But he has a great defensive mind. So learning all the offensive stuff and just how Coach Rogers' mind works from the offensive side, and learning a lot of defensive stuff from Coach LeBlanc, and how he, how his wheels turn from all the stuff he learned from Coach Saban. That's really kind of, developed our game plan, and everything from there has just kind of been how we kind of tweak it all to adjust from flag football. Because a lot of people think it's, oh, well, if you know football, you know flag football, but really fundamentally, it actually is very different.
Yeah, it really is. And talk about kind of that difference, because a lot of our listeners would like to be educated. And then after, to piggyback off when you talk about the difference, talk about how you schedule as well, because it sounded like you said, you played maybe 2 games in a weekend. I noticed on the poll you guys were listed at 7-2. Talk about how you schedule as well.
So good question about the schedule. So, we can, and to be honest, like, we actually are slightly blessed in the fact that, we're 1 through 5A. So like our closest 1 through 5A opponent is St. John Paul II. But other than that, like, we have to kind of travel a little ways to find schools within our classification. So unlike, you have our local teams like, Bob Jones, Decatur, Austin, JC, like all of them, like, their region is slammed. So for them, they actually could play up to 4 games a week. They can have a tri-match on Tuesday, tri-match on Thursday. So, you talk about being conditioned. I mean, they really have to be conditioned. Now, we try our best to play the other 6A, 7A schools in our region. And honestly, they're a lot better too. So if we want to be the best, we want to play the best. So you really can pack it in as much as you can. So we want to play as many games as possible. For our rules, we're allowed 15 dates. So if you look at the schedule for teams like Vestavia, like, I think right now they're like 19-1, but you can pack as many games in as one day as you want. So I know they played some tournaments and stuff like that. So, I mean, you can get a lot of games in as you want, as long as you keep within 15 dates.
Wow.
Yes. Now, I don't know if we're looking to play 20 games a season, but more power to them in that sense.
And then,
but as far as the rules go,
yeah.
we have they established a new rule book this year with the NFHS, and this is the first year of using NFHS. So it's before that we went off of the NERSA rule book, but it's a lot different from like the NFL flag rules is what everyone else has used like across the country with like a lot of the younger leagues. But honestly, I think our rule book is way more fun. Everyone's an eligible wide receiver, so you see a lot more like spread type offenses. The quarterback can run at any point in time. You can rush the quarterback at any point in time. So I think it allows for a lot more fun in the game, in my opinion. But also it makes you have to think a lot more from a defensive perspective. Like you can't just leave anyone, out to go crazy. But I just think it's a lot more fun, in my opinion, how they have the rule book set up versus NFL flag. You can kind of, be a little more conservative in that sense.
Well, and you also have a heck of a quarterback as well, Aaron Robinson, putting up some. I mean, you got a great team, but Aaron Robinson putting up some good numbers there for you at the quarterback spot.
It really is quite a blessing to have someone like Aaron because she can use her legs, she can use her arm, and she has a monster arm as well. It's a blessing and a curse though, because there's some times where since she has this monster arm, she wants to use it, but there's times when Coach Adams wants to look at her and just tell her like, just go be an athlete because she wants to take that 20 or 25 yard throw when it's like, no, just take the 15-yard run. But I'm happy to have that kind of blessing of having an athlete when sometimes she wants to use it. I was like, well, no, I want to take that deep pass. It's like, no, just take the 15-yard run. But no, she really is going to be a great athlete, and I know she's going to take that to the next level. Especially only being a sophomore. We've seen her grow and develop throughout the year. But she loves the sport. She's one of our athletes that she probably had close to probably 4 or 5 hours of huddle film watched before we even had to play our first game. So she really is not just, an athlete of the game, but she's also a student of the game as well.
Well, and Coach Preston Webb is with us, Westminster Christian Academy. I mean, now for our listeners, explain how do you qualify for the playoffs and make a run to try to get a blue map of the 1 to 5A classification?
So the way they've done it, now that we are a sanctioned championship sport, it's the top 4 teams from every region qualifies. Unfortunately for these, 1 through 5A schools, we'll have teams that will declare teams, and then, sometimes throughout the summer, players, teams will, kind of fall throughout the wayside. So there's only three teams in our region, so we've already qualified for the playoffs.
Gotcha.
But the top 2 teams will host playoff spots. So we've already won enough games where we know we're gonna host a playoff spot, but. When we come back from break on Tuesday, we are hosting the region championship game against Boaz.
Here we go.
So that's always been the goal. We've always had that game circled on our calendar all year. We lost that game against Boaz last year by 1 point. So I know, especially my seniors on the team, they've had that game circled on their calendar. So, we're going to come back on Monday and be locked in and ready to, hopefully, bring that region championship game back here to Huntsville.
Well, Coach, we got to ask you, how does this one feel? You are named one of our Bryant Bank Teams of the Week this week. We will have a presentation for your program on behalf of Bryant Bank. They will present your program with a check for $500. How does this feel to be picking up this honor this morning?
Well, first of all, I got to give all credit to God. He gives all the talent to all the girls. But secondly, I didn't do anything. This is all the girls. they just go out there and make all of us coaches look good. They put in so much hard work for this. So I got to give all the credit to all the girls for this one. They've done an amazing job so far. So I just want to give a shout out to all the girls and all the hard work they've done. So. I got to give them a shout out for all this, and they've done an amazing amount of work for this. But thank you guys so much for shouting out this team and shouting out the sport. I just really want to, also just give a shameless plug for the sport itself. And I just hope that more girls can look at the opportunity at their schools for coming out and playing the sport.
Yeah, well, we look forward to continued success. Good luck in that championship game, or excuse me, trying to reach the championship game. Pardon me, as you play Boaz coming up next week. But again, enjoy the rest of fall break, Coach. Thank you
from
for
the
getting
beach,
up early.
by the way.
Yeah,
from the beach.
And, but thank you for getting up early and joining us during your quote unquote kind of mid-season vacation or late season vacation. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks. Great stuff there. That was good.
It was educational.
We try to educate sometimes as well.
Yeah. We
want
to give a spotlight on this show.
Let's give a break. Wrap it all up. Hour one next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Firehawk Aerospace is a non-traditional defense contractor advancing the state of propulsion to strengthen the U.S. Defense Initiative. Founded in 2019, Firehawk Aerospace established early leadership in manufactured propulsion with the development of 3D printed hybrid rocket fuel grains. Visit firehawkaerospace.com to learn more. That's firehawkaerospace.com.
Tom Abraham here for my friend Mike Owen at Owen Home Appliance Center. You know, it's hot outside, so cool down with an upright or chest freezer in stock at Owen Home Appliance Center. And don't let those beverages get hot. Get an under-counter ice machine with a built-in pump for just $12.99. Or how about a fridge out by the pool or in the garage for extra cold drinks? You can get a scratch and dent 18 cubic foot refrigerator for just $3.49 while supplies last. Go to owenappliance.com to learn more. That's owenappliance.com.
Does it really matter which dealership you plan to buy from? Short answer is yes. Hi folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford. Taking a little time to find out about the dealership before you buy can have a big payoff. Customer reviews let you know what others think, and that's good. But industry reviews can tell you even more. Woody Anderson Ford is proud to have been selected as Ford's Triple Crown winner, an award that only 1% of the top Ford dealers in the country are able to earn. This is a big deal, and here's why. Ford's Triple Crown is based on superior customer service, sales excellence, and over-the-top service delivery. And again, only 1% of the top Ford dealers in all of America achieve this goal. Woody Anderson Ford is top of the top. So when it's time to pull the trigger on your next car, truck, or SUV, we'd be honored if you'd give us a chance to show you how we earned our Triple Crown status. Woody Anderson Ford. I'm Bobby White, and we hope to see you soon.
Lake Gunnersville Ace Hardware is your locally owned and operated hardware store. We're not just about numbers, we're about helping neighbors, because our Ace Hardware store is part of your community. We're committed to being the helpful place by offering our customers personal service, quality products, and a convenient shopping experience. As the helpful hardware folks in your neighborhood, we promise that helping you is the most important thing we have to do today. Stop by and visit Lake Gunnersville Ace Hardware today, 1536 Blunt Avenue in Gunnersville.
Organizations using Salesforce know how powerful the platform is and how much time, money, and headaches it saves if it's set up right and you know how to use it. Let's face it, Salesforce is complicated and time-consuming to figure out, and a lot can go wrong now and down the road without expert help. That's why most Salesforce users work with an implementation partner like Higher Echelon, so they get the absolute most out of their Salesforce investment. Higher Echelon is a 5-star Salesforce consulting partner who won Salesforce Military Hiring Partner of the Year. President Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached for the cadets. He puts that experience to good use at Higher Echelon, where they pride themselves on hiring veterans. Look, not all Salesforce partners are the same. Don't put your company at risk by going with an inferior partner. Higher Echelon is the trusted partner you can count on to get you up and running and seeing returns on your Salesforce investment in a fraction of the time it would take if you go it alone. Go to higherechelon.com. That's HIGHERECHELON.com to learn more. Go higher and go Army.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
We're just about out of time for hour number one.
That was an educational conversation.
Well, it is. And here is the thing. And we talked about it going into the interview, and we could talk about it coming out. girls high school flag football in this area is growing by leaps and bounds.
I mean, you've already got it emerging, and as you heard, Coach, of course, at Shelton State, Calhoun, throughout the junior college system. But now it could even start showing its head on the Division I level.
Yes.
How interesting would that be for Alabama and Auburn to be fighting over players?
I mean, we've got teams that, I mean, we're going to leave out some, but I mean, Bob Jones, Austin, Boaz, Albertville.
Yeah.
They're all great programs
throughout this area.
Yes.
Not to mention the Central Phoenix cities and Vestavia Hills
that dominate the national headlines all over. So, I mean, it's growing and it's getting bigger and bigger, but congratulations, Westminster Christian Academy girls flag football program, bringing home one of our Bryant Banks Team of the Week. We'll do a presentation. They're on fall break right now, so we will do that presentation next week. But congratulations to them. Hour 2 going to get started next.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
The Atlanta Falcons hosting the Buffalo Bills on Monday Night Football at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The Bills are the 4.5-point road favorite as they look to bounce back from that upset loss at home Sunday night to the New England Patriots. College football Saturday, Georgia laying 3.5 at Auburn, 45.5 the total at Jordan-Hare. Number 8, Alabama, 3-point road favorite at Missouri, down from 4.5. The total, 51.5 in Columbia, Missouri at Memorial Stadium. Kyle Larson, the 5-1 favorite to win the South Point 400 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway in the NASCAR Cup Series. Christopher Bell, plus 550. Denny Hamlin, 6-1. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This hour brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic and Spine Center. Online at sportsmedalabama.com. Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
Hour 2 is upon us. 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Time for us to crank up another. Oh, we discussed this in the beginning.
Come on.
Oh. Just like a Heisman Trophy quarterback, you can have great games. You have one bad one.
And I'm going to do the water boy. You can do it.
You go.
There it is.
Each week, they lace it up. Each week, we'll present our Team of the Week.
Get it in here. I got one thing to say.
So it's time for the Bryant Bank Team of the Week presentation.
Yes, I know if you were listening at hour number 1, you heard us honor Westminster Christian Academy girls flag football. We can do multiple, but we also have got our second one today to do. And of course, last week, if you
what a fourth quarter.
If you were listening to high school football in this area, we talk about the unpredictability of college football. And that's what makes it so entertaining. High school football, I think, is right there as well. Sometimes it's just the unpredictability. And there was a monster game inside Madison City School Stadium last week. Bob Jones, Sparkman. It was every bit entertaining. I'm sure as a head coach, it probably felt a little nerve-wracking at times, But the Sparkman Senators went on the road and dug deep, came from behind, and what a defensive effort to hold Bob Jones to field goals, but they get it done.
Yeah, and then to shut them out in the fourth quarter because, with just under 3 minutes to go, it's a 26-14 game. It ends up being a 29-26 come from behind win for Sparkman. They've won 3 out of 4. They nearly completed an epic comeback against Mae Jemison the week before. They've played a very difficult schedule, and to their credit, they've continued to grind. They've overcome an 0-3 start to now be 3-4 on the year. But the most important statistic is 3-1 in a wide open 7A Region 4 when you talk about unpredictability. And right now they've put themselves in position to make a playoff run. And this is the third year for our next guest. It would be his first playoff berth, and it would be monumental for this program. A lot of football to be played, but now it's important football due to the way they've been performing on the gridiron. And, of course, we're talking about Ronnie Watson. We're talking about the Sparkman Senators, and they are our Bryant Bank, ESPN 97.7 The Zone Team of the Week. Coach, good morning.
And he's on video.
Yeah, he's doing the video
We can
thing.
see
There
Coach.
it is.
We get to
There
see
it is.
Coach.
Joe Honk in the studio, too. There you go.
Now, I have that radio face, so but we're going to go with it.
Hey, you sound great, man.
You do.
I mean, and first of all, we appreciate it because we know you're out of school this week. But
that's the big thing. You're doing this on fall break.
But you're keeping the same kind of afternoon practice schedule. But for you to get up and to do the video thing with us, we really appreciate that, Coach.
We really appreciate what you guys do to, for everything you guys do to promote all the schools around us. So, you guys do a great job, and we appreciate everything you guys do.
Well, Coach, kind of take us through Friday night. I mean, that was – first of all, you knew Bob Jones came in. I mean, Bob Jones had gotten off to a fantastic start this year. Yeah, Kelvis White team is going to be physical. They're going to be tough.
It's a big rivalry.
Big rivalry game for those. I mean, that's the thing. I think people forget that just how big Sparkman and Bob Jones of a rival it really is.
Right.
But just kind of take us through that Friday night.
Well, I mean, like you said, I mean, anytime you're playing a team Kelvis White coaches, any of the Whites coach, I mean, they're going to come in, they're going to be physical. It's I guess what you could call a rivalry, if they have rivalries anymore, honestly. Everybody plays 7-on-7 together and is there all the off-season stuff together now. But, I mean, awesome atmosphere, hats off to our guys. We just made a couple more plays more than they did. So,
well, and Coach, talk about the season so far too, because I know you built the schedule. When you took over for LaRon White, Kelvis's brother, in order to test your team and get them ready for the playoffs. But when you come out of the gates and you don't have a lot of success, it could be easy to hang dog and be discouraged. How did your coaches keep your kids locked in and motivated, knowing that it's a long journey, and that even though you have the rough games with Spain Park and Hillcrest Tuscaloosa, there's still a 7A Region 4 championship to chase?
Once you get into region play, I mean, especially starting last week, everything became, all right, guys, we're 2-1 now. It's time to become 3-1. This week's goal to become 4-1. So you just got to take them one at a time. And like you guys said before, I mean, there's a lot of football left to play. And, every goal that our guys set out at the, in the summer, whenever we do goals weekly. Yeah. But one of the main ones is still out there in front of us. You just gotta we got a lot still to play for. So it's getting them to believe in that, and our entire coaching staff has done a fabulous job not letting them forget that.
Mm-hmm. How big of it was it last week to hold Bob Jones to just field goals and just make that your defense had to stand up on its head, but to hold Bob Jones to field goals rather than let those drives continue?
I mean, it was huge because, I mean, they even get one more, the score's not we're down by one more. So, defensive staff, Dylan Livingston did a great job putting a plan together. And then, the rest of the defensive staff did an awesome job getting those guys to execute.
Yeah, and you got off to a slow start in the first quarter offensively, but certainly you kept plugging away, Cameron Reynolds had an outstanding game. Made some. I mean, you know, I always say this: the philosophy is your dudes have to be dudes, but he had a tremendous second half and fourth quarter, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, Spencer Smith, the offensive coordinator, fed him, and I mean, we say that about the same thing around here. Let your dogs be dogs. So you got to get the right guys the ball and see what they can do with it, and throw it up, and boy, Cam really came through.
Yeah. No doubt. Coach, I mean, this is an oddity of the schedule. I mean, it's just how the schedule worked out. You make that same trip back to Madison City School Stadium this week. You had Bob Jones there last week. Now you make it back this week for James Clemens.
Yes, sir. I mean, it's everybody's favorite week, fall break. So, everything's usually all over the place. You'll have guys, I got to go on this vacation. We try to keep everything the same.
Yeah.
Everything we're doing is no different than we would do, if school was in. Of course, it has its challenges, but I mean, without challenges, this job wouldn't be any fun. So, we'll go, from walkthroughs to pregame meals to all the practices during the week, all the meeting, all the film. So, again, just to keep it as consistent as possible, so it doesn't seem like there's any change for our guys as the week goes.
Well, I mean, obviously, you guys have a lot of weapons offensively. Joshua Nalen threw the ball well in the last game. Bodner's made plays for 2 years. Cameron Reynolds has been tremendous. You guys have been able to run the football. Lawson had another 100-yard game last week, and you guys exploded against Huntsville. How's that growth? How have you watched this offense grow and come into its own in the last few weeks, Coach?
I mean, they're coming together. They're starting to see what they can and what they can't do. I'm still, I'm always on Coach Smith. Hey, when we're going to put the entire game together,
right?
We've got to get 4 quarters and things like that. And I think that's as a team altogether, we still yet to put 3 phases of the game together and play our best game this year. So. But I mean, yeah, lots of weapons. You got to take advantage of it and not shoot yourself in the foot when you're moving the football.
Yeah, and you look at this region, Coach. I mean, it's wide open. Still a lot of football left to be played, but this region right now is still, I think, anybody's region.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we always say, whether it's media day or what, this region always comes down to tiebreakers and things like that, and it's going to be an exciting 4 weeks.
Yeah, it really will. And then you got another challenge. You're going to be back in the same venue in Madison City School Stadium, but I know you guys are studying tape and getting ready for JC. JC's under a new leadership with Juan Johnson. What have you seen of James Clemens that impresses you? And talk about that challenge of coming back and trying to win 2 straight in that venue and really put yourself in a strong position to have a chance to host a playoff game, Coach.
Well, Juan's great coach, all through, everywhere he's been, looking at them, they've got weapons on both sides of the ball. They got weapons. I mean, all 3 phases, special teams as well. It's always going to start with Gideon, the running back. He does an outstanding job. 9 does an outstanding job. 10 gave us fits last year at quarterback. So it's just trying to, keep those guys, boxed up as much as possible. And, they're going to get their yards. You're just going to have to, we've got to match the same energy.
Well, and I know you were DC under LaRon, pardon me. I knew I'd do that. LaRon, before you took over. Now on that, and I know that's still a side of the ball you're heavily involved with. We talked about your offense growing, and it's becoming more and more balanced and explosive. How did you see your defense compete in the last game, and how have they grown since the start of the season, Coach?
I can't say enough about Coach Livingston and the defensive side of the ball. I let the coaches coach. I'll give my 2 cents, of course, especially on that side of the ball. But I mean, those guys have really, with the defensive line that we lost. I mean, with 5 great defensive linemen, 4 of them's playing on Saturdays now. to work with them, the defensive line coaches, and just having a plan, getting better week in and week out. They right now they're rocking, they're hitting every cylinder, but it takes you're just as good as your last series.
Mm-hmm.
So we just got to keep banging away.
Has your team found its identity?
I would say no, not yet. Not yet.
Yeah.
I mean, we're a team, honestly, full of leaders, guys wanting to move, guys, huge goal setters and things like that. But, one thing about it, no matter up or down, we're going to go out there, we're going to play with as much passion, give 200% on every play.
Well, and Coach, before we talk about the honor of your team being the Bryant Bank Team of the Week, what are the keys in your mind as you've watched tape? And you guys will be playing on Friday night. We've got some games on our network on Thursday. But what are the keys to going over there to Madison yet again and getting a win over the James Clemens Jets?
Well, I mean, to me, it's always going to be consistency, keeping things consistent, not make a game bigger than bigger than any other game. I mean, we know what the implications are. Kids read social media and they read everything just like everybody else, but not making it too big. You're going into the game, you still got to execute. I mean, the more pumped up you are, the less chance you're going to execute. So, it's keeping them level-headed, seeing where it's at. And I mean, again, we've talked about it for the last 2 weeks. We've got to focus on us and the things we can control, and the game's going to take care of itself.
Mm-hmm. Well, Coach, we are honoring you and the Sparkman Senators for your play last week as the Bryant Bank Team of the Week. Bryant Bank will hand out $500 to your program. Congratulations on bringing home this honor, Coach.
Well, thank you guys. And again, thanks for everything you guys do for all the schools in this area, promoting and everything. And, our guys will be real excited about this one.
Well, Coach, we appreciate it. Good luck to you on Friday night back at Madison City School Stadium. A huge game for both these squads with playoff implications and a chance for your squad to put themselves in strong position to maybe win a 7A Region 4 title. Congrats on you guys continuing to grind this season and turn this thing around, but continued success, and we really appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate you. Go Senators.
All right. Ronnie Watson, head coach of the Sparkman Senators, joining us via the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, as well as your WZZN TV video there. Thanks for Coach for doing that on a fall break. Let's get a break in when we come back. Phone lines open to you, 256-576-4977.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryant Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement. It's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryant Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
You can now do more without it costing you more. Alabama's attractions have come together to offer the all-in-one ticket that downloads to your mobile device. No matter how many attractions listed on the ticket you see during the time span you bought, your price stays the same. Pick the right ticket option that best fits your schedule, and then enjoy more attractions without spending more. All-in-one tickets for different areas of Alabama are available at alabama.travel and other places where online tickets are sold. Brought to you by Alabama Tourism Department, the ABA, and this station.
Hey, brother. Saw you called.
John, I've been thinking about our days during the war, and
I'm on my way.
Thanks, man.
If you are a veteran struggling with depression, anxiety, or need someone to talk to, call 800-273-8255. Press 1. It's private and free 24/7. Call 800-273-8255 or visit vetsforhope.com. Sponsored by the Partners
No
of
representation is
Alabama.
made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188. Just remember, we're here to help, whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete. We're here to help.
The Blitz with Joe Hunk and John Abraham. Weekday morning starting at 9 a.m. on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Oh, my goodness. Sharp dress man. ZZ Top.
We kicked off the show talking about SEC football. And we were kind of going through, this Heisman stuff and who's there. So you look at it right now, and starting today, going into this Saturday, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Alabama, Missouri, and Oklahoma. Now, Oklahoma and Missouri have only played one conference game each.
Yeah.
But those 5 teams, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Alabama, Missouri, and Oklahoma, they have the spotless record so far in SEC play. And then you got Georgia, Vanderbilt, LSU, Tennessee, Florida with 1 loss. It is way early in SEC play. Vanderbilt, LSU, Tennessee, they've only played 2 games in conference play. Ole Miss is the outlier here. They have played 3 conference games so far. So you look at the standings, several teams, even the Florida Gators are 1-1 in SEC play. That's how big that Texas win was. South Carolina's 1-2, the bottom half. Texas, Arkansas, Mississippi State, Auburn, and Kentucky, so far early out of the gates, they have yet to find a win in conference play. So you look at this. By their record, Ole Miss is the best team. Texas A&M is the best team. They're both 5-0, 2-0, 3-0. But who is playing is Ole Miss and Texas A&M right now playing the best football in the conference?
I'd say Ole Miss. Been more impressed with them.
You've been more impressed with Ole Miss over Texas A&M. But those two are clearly you could say Alabama right now is playing.
I would say A&M
some
second,
good football,
because A&M did beat 1988 in a classic comeback in South Bend. So, I mean, I think and then they did beat Auburn, and it was not a pretty game, but they won. So, and then they were very impressive in the second half, and especially the fourth quarter against Mississippi State.
Right.
So I would say Ole Miss and then Texas A&M. They're both unbeaten. I'd say Alabama after that. And then and the only reason I didn't bring up Missouri would have to be up there in the top 5 or 6, but look at their strength of schedule. Now, they're going to get their shot Saturday to prove it against Alabama, but Kansas is okay, and then South Carolina is not. They're shielded. So I just think overall that Missouri hasn't played anybody yet. So we'll see how good they are if they're truly a top 15 team with how they play Alabama.
I know we focused a lot on Alabama and Missouri and Georgia and Auburn, rightfully so.
And Georgia's still up there in the top 5, in my opinion.
Right. Those are big games to look at. It's the Deep South's oldest rivalry between Auburn and Georgia. This one inside Jordan-Hare Stadium is usually historically played within one score. But there's one game that we have not touched on because they're coming off a bye week. Both of them are coming off bye weeks. And that is Arkansas and Tennessee. Arkansas making the trip. Tennessee's 11.5-point favorite. I know, I get it. It makes you go to sleep because it's Tennessee. But this is Bobby Petrino's first game back, interim head coach. He's made some changes defensively, got rid of pretty much the entire defensive staff, made some changes. Does Tennessee cover this game at 11.5 on Saturday?
They should. I mean, Arkansas can definitely score, and Bobby P's got a good offense. And Tennessee's defense, I think, is iffy. But I still think, Tennessee's averaging 50 points a game, and right now Arkansas couldn't tackle anybody. So we'll see how much better they are this Saturday. But if Tennessee takes this game seriously and isn't looking ahead to trying to beat Alabama, for a third time under Josh Heupel, because Josh Heupel, I believe, is 2-2 against the Tide. He's the first Tennessee coach, and since people were born,
right?
Since a lot of these millennials were ever born to see the Vols beat the Tide. So, and now they want to break that losing streak that dates back to 2003, and were Shula'd. And couldn't convert a 1st and 2 to win that game. But that's the last time the Vomits have won in Tuscaloosa. So, but if they're and don't forget, this should be a huge motivating game for Tennessee. Don't forget that disaster last year.
Right.
Disaster.
In Fayetteville.
Where the backup quarterback for Arkansas beat Nico Iamale overrated. That should have told you right then and there that Iamaleava was not what everybody thought he was going to be, because that was a good Tennessee team with Dylan Sampson and a really good defense that ended up being in the college football playoff and rightfully so earned it. And yet they didn't win in Fayetteville, Arkansas against an Arkansas team that was very average. So if I'm Tennessee, I'm wanting to blow these guys off the field. And so I don't care who got fired, hired, or whatever. I'm going for 50. And I'm trying to, and what did you say the spread is? It's
11 and a half.
Oh, it's interesting. I think it's 12 and a half.
11 and a half. That's why I said, does Tennessee,
Kansas, but
does Tennessee cover this on Saturday? Your over under, by the way, is 68 and a half.
Man, I mean, come on. I got to believe they're scoring 50. I mean, come on. I mean, give me a break.
Brody knows how much you love that song.
I mean, that's the worst song in the history of music. I mean, it is.
In the history of music.
It is.
In the history of music. That's the worst song.
Oh, my God. They just play it over and over again.
That's the worst song in the history of music. Tell you that
it is terrible. As he calls it, it's butt chugging. Oh, it's awful.
Let it play, Brody.
Oh.
Let it play.
Wish that I was on a rocky top down in the Tennessee hills. Ain't no smoggy smoke on Rocky Top. Ain't no telephone bill.
Anyway, all I can tell you is you better write this down, because I don't like picking Tennessee.
Right.
But I think Tennessee wins this game 56-35.
So you think Arkansas will still score?
I think they'll score. I think they'll score a lot late when it doesn't matter. But I think the Vols will win it, and I think they'll win it going away.
Oh.
Good Lord, I hate that song. I hate that stadium. I hate that program. I hate their colors.
Oh, my goodness. My goodness. My goodness. Don't ever have to us worry ever being on in Tennessee.
I don't care.
All right. 256-576-4977. Coming up here in just a minute, Brooks Austin going to join the program. I tell you what, so we can spend as much time with Brooks as we can because Brooks is ever bit so impressive. And last week, he told you to shut up, which was good. So let's get a break in and let's get to Brooks Austin.
Well, I'll just, before we go to break here, I don't think B. Rich is going to mind me quoting this because he's listening.
Okay.
He said, "Thanks, Brody. I just puked in my work van. Make it stop. No donuts for Brody or Scott, since I guess Scott was encouraging it."
Damn right. Just to hear you guys say it's the worst song ever, that was worth it.
It's awful.
And to hear Brooks Austin tell you to shut up last week was worth it too.
Shut up again to talk
well, let's spend more time with Brooks. He's coming up next. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Travel accommodations for 97.7 ESPN The Zone provided by University Kia. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky this afternoon. We are talking about the opportunity for a little bit of rain across the Tennessee Valley, but as we get into the later part of the day, the rain chances are going to drop off. Highs climbing into the upper 70s, lower 80s, dropping into the mid 50s as we head into the overnight. A partly sunny sky for your Thursday, temperatures climbing into the 70s.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The biggest and best compact truck loaders are at Thompson Tractor. The next generation CAT compact track loaders bring superior power and enhanced truck loading capabilities. These machines will boost your productivity and your business. So go check out Thompson Tractor's Huntsville demo event on October the 9th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at 3600 Governor's Drive. Visit ThompsonTractor.com or give them a call at 256-532-1776 for more details. We'll see you there.
At Stella at 5 Points, living isn't just about having an apartment, it's about living artfully. Imagine waking up with the upscale feel of Atlanta or Nashville right here in the heart of Huntsville. Modern, stylish apartments, open layouts, stainless steel appliances, and resort-inspired amenities. Nestled in vibrant 5 Points, you'll enjoy walkability, parks, dining, and quick access to downtown without the chaos. Stella at 5 Points. Live artfully. Live Stella.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-Sparky.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
What does it mean to be a part of the Southeastern Conference? That you scheduled your wedding and even your child's birth around your school's game? Of course. But it means more than that. It means you're home to hundreds of Fulbright, Truman, Goldwater, and Rhodes Scholars. It means starting out as the birthplace of American public higher education, and now leading the way in unmanned spacecraft. This is the SEC, and here it just means more. What does it mean to be a part of the Southeastern Conference? That there's an honest-to-goodness chandelier in your tailgate tent? Perhaps, but it means more than that. It means pioneering medical solutions to predict new flu viruses. It means leading globally diverse teams to eliminate starvation in developing countries. And it means being home to one of the nation's top cybersecurity programs. This is the SEC. And here, it just means more.
The Atlanta Braves
Swung on and crushed. Deep left field. Kepler going back. Here comes some late night dynamite here at Truist Park. A walk-off home run by Marcell Ozuna.
All season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Welcome back, Talking Ball.
Stone Cold Steve Austin for Brooks Austin.
97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott
How is
Tyson,
that?
Drew DeArmond. It's one of our favorite times of the week. And last week, I mean, it was just eye-opening. And it's always good when we get to catch up to our next guest because the amount of detail that he puts into everything that he does is awesome.
Yeah.
And last week he told you to shut up, which is even the best.
That was a couple weeks ago. But yeah,
Yes.
he did tell me to be quiet. Yeah, he did. And he was right. So, hey, there you go.
Yes.
I mean, because he was one of the few in the business that actually picked Alabama to beat Georgia. Hell, I didn't. So, but that's why he's a guy. That's why he's one of the best in the business. And that's why he's one of our favorites. And we're talking about Brooks Austin. And he's carved out some time to talk Georgia-Auburn and what he's seen from Alabama and the growth of the Crimson Tide and what he thinks of this matchup with Missouri. Brooks, good morning. We are doing well,
good,
sir. And we know you've already started your film breakdowns. You do it every week. Everybody tunes in for it. That's why you're one of the fastest growing guys in the business. But let's just get right to it. What are your thoughts on this Georgia Auburn matchup? Because we're hearing stuff from people that Hugh Freeze is in deep trouble if this game doesn't go better than people think it might.
Yeah, I mean, offensively, they've been so putrid through their first two SEC road games. I think a lot of people are curious why that Vegas line is what it is right now. It's 3.5, right? A lot of people thinking Georgia's probably a touchdown better football team than them on paper, at least, right? 7.5, maybe 10 points to some people. And then you see this 3.5 point line. It's very sneaky, right? We call it fishy. I think what it is the fact that Auburn's defense is so damn good that they have gone on the road in hostile environments and played coverable, football for the last two road games against top 10 opponents. Like, they've gone into hostile environments and lost by score. And done so based off defense, and we can't move the ball. I just don't know how you win an SEC football game, home or away, when you're anemic on third down. Like, that has been Auburn's – I mean, they got to be historically bad through two SEC football games. 1 for 23 on third down. I don't keep third down stats in my brain forever, but I will hold 1 for 23 to start a season in my brain for a long time, as that's as bad as it gets. I don't know how it gets worse than that. I saw a stat against Texas A&M. Had they spiked the football on first and second down, they would have statistically been in a better situation than they actually were on third down trying to play offense in that football game.
Brooks, put a finger on what's ailing this Auburn offense.
RPOs, it's 2026 or 2025, and they're still calling offense like it's 2020 or 2012. Like, dude, when Hugh Freeze first came to the SEC and when he first got a head coaching job at Ole Miss, RPOs were relatively new. Like, it was like it was a shell shock factor when you played them. Like, hey, we got to go stop this. We got to figure out how to do this. Well, now guys, like, the last 10 years of football, that was 15 years ago or 13 years ago. The last 10 years of football, defensive coordinators have done nothing but try to figure out how to complicate things with regards to the RPO. And what I have noticed them do is they're picking or choosing. They're not going to give you options. They're going to force you to get to one of those options, meaning they're going to dictate you to do one thing or the other. And the last 2 weeks, you know what teams have dictated Auburn's going to do on RPOs? Pull the football. I don't know if you guys are a lot closer to the Alabama area right there in Memphis. Like, y'all know that y'all hear Hugh Freeze go to the microphone and get asked, why aren't you giving the running backs the ball? Well, you know why? Because every call is an RPO. So if I force the read for the quarterback to pull the football, then he's going to pull the football, and y'all ain't going to run it today. And that's what's happened the last 2 weeks. You have seen defenses take away all of their run games by just loading the box and bracketing Cam Coleman, and then it makes this, can Jackson Arnold, while under pressure, get a ball to Eric Singleton, who's 5'11" and is a great route runner in the slot, but they're playing him like a Z. And you can't do that stuff. It's why I think they've been so anemic offensively. They're just very, very repetitive in scheme. Guys, their one scoring drive against A&M 2 weeks ago was the same play 3 times in a row on one drive. I kid you not. I can't make it up. It's the same play, same RPO called, out of no huddle. There was no offensive creativity or ingenuity to it. It was just Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton. That was it. And if those guys don't beat you, you ain't getting beat right now by Auburn.
Well, wow. And Brooks, let's go to the other side. Georgia, what have you seen from them? How have they responded after dropping the game to Alabama where, Gunnar Stockton was okay, wasn't great. I know he had really impressed me against Tennessee, but I thought Alabama did a nice job against him. But how have you seen Georgia respond in that time?
We live in a day and age of powerful football with the parity in the sport and the dispersion of talent across the sport that when you go out and you handle Kentucky 35-7, by midway through the third quarter, you're pulling your starters in an SEC Power 4 matchup like that. That's the type of answer that you wanted. Like, did they do it the way I wanted them to? I wanted them to go out there and throw the football against a team that I knew was going to play a lot of zone coverage because that's what they struggle with. Like, the further and further we get away from that Tennessee football game, the further and further I'm more flabbergasted that Tim Banks decided he was going to live and die in man-to-man coverage on third down. Nobody's going to do that the rest of the year against Georgia because they know that's when Gunnar is comfortable. Gunnar is not comfortable sorting through zone coverage, filtering through tight windows, and throwing with anticipation. But if you make this about, is my guy going to beat your guy, and can I take that hit from that linebacker, number 14 is going to stare that in the face all day and smile. Like, that's what he wants to do. He does not want to play quarterback. He wants to play football player. You know what I mean? And if you allow him to play football player, he's going to shred you for 300 yards and 44 total points on offense. So I think the further we get removed from that, the more and more you'll see zone coverage like you saw from Kentucky. Now, the difference is this Auburn football team ain't going to get gashed for 200 yards on the ground. I don't know. I think it was 185 yards against Kentucky did Georgia rush for, but it was 4.5 yards a clip, guys. Yeah. They were rolling Kentucky. They were just running the football at will. I don't know if you're going to be able to do that against Auburn, but like, good dude, they did it against Alabama. They did it against Tennessee. This football team has gone into environments and played SEC football teams that I think are deemed high caliber football units. Like, I think Tennessee's defensive unit, despite the fact that they were banged up in that football game, is really, really good. I think Alabama's defensive unit is really, really good. And Georgia rolled both of those for 200 yards on the ground. At will. Yeah. Like, just leaning on you. And nobody's doing that right now in this conference.
Texas A&M was able to find success on the ground against Auburn. So I'm wondering if
to me, they're a total different ball game. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. You're right.
They have a whole lot more RPO to their system. They have a whole lot more like quarterback design run. The quarterback is a major explosive threat with his legs. Okay. And what happens with all that is like we're really lightening the box. We're adding the quarterback into the equation. So now all those creases become bigger, right? It's why they're sputtering, spitting offensively in the run game is A&M. What do I mean by that? They're going 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards, 60 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards, 30 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards, 25 yards. They're sputter, sputter, spit. Georgia right now is, I'm leaning on you for 6. I'm leaning on you for 5. I'm leaning on you for 8. There's a difference right now in those two run games, in my opinion.
Well, and now we wanted to switch over to Missouri and Alabama. I know you've studied them on film. We talked about them in the first hour about their strength of schedule, but is Missouri legit? Their running game certainly looks that way.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it on Feinbaum yesterday. The thing that I always expect when I go to turn on Missouri tape is them to be running wide zone, right? Them to be running stretch. For those of you who are listening to us on radio, that is the old Denver Broncos play, right? That's the one that made Terrell Davis a Hall of Famer, right? We're going to get at a 45-degree angle, and then we're going to stick our foot in the ground the moment we see a crease. Now, that's difficult enough. That is hard enough to stop, especially because it's a very unique style, the way that they run it. They cut on the backside. They do a lot of stuff that makes you have to prepare uniquely for them. We make all of that 10 times harder when we have a vertical presence to our run game, right? We're stretching. And then all of a sudden we're going to get smacked in the face by the SEC's best running back on what we call duo, right? We're stretching and now we're going to get vertical. Now we're going to be one of the best teams in the conference at running vertically on teams too. That becomes really, really hard to defend. And not only that, like Ahmad Hardy is having one of the best seasons so far this year with regards to individual excellence. He is taking an offensive line from Missouri that's not doing everything perfect. They're not doing everything right. They're not doing everything good, I would say. And he is making them great right now because he's breaking arm tackles. He's running through linebackers. Free defenders are showing up at the line of scrimmage, and he's taking care of them. So what I'm telling you is that if you're an opponent going into this one, you can do everything right. In fact, you can win the rep, and he'll make you a 45-yard explosive. There are so many times you pause the film, and there are 5 SEC defenders around this guy with nobody blocking those 5 defenders, and then next thing you know, it's a 40-yard explosive. And you're like, how? Ahmad Hardy. That's the only answer. It's Ahmad Hardy. But I just question their quarterback play still. Bo Purpio is a good athlete. He is playing, but I would say he's playing frantic football right now. He does not look like he is smoothly clicking through his reads. Now, he's getting to some explosives, but there are some fidgety footwork and fidgety pocket mechanics and real, like I said, frantic would be the word I would use right now to describe him.
Ty Simpson looks like the game, though, is slowing down to him on the other side of the ball. It looks like at times he's seeing the game in slow motion.
Yeah, no, he is. They're doing a lot of – look, when you have a quarterback in college football that is obviously, dad coached high school football for 20 years, I think, there in the state of Tennessee. He's obviously a football savant. He's obviously talked a lot of football in his life. He's obviously collected a lot of football information. And when you have one of those – it behooves you to get that guy on the line of scrimmage as fast as possible, allow him to collect as much information as humanly possible. And I think Alabama's doing a great job of that, right? Getting him out of the huddle, getting him to the line of scrimmage, allowing him to hard count, see what the defense is doing, get the right call that makes that defense compromisable. And that's what he's doing. He's doing such a great job of collecting information pre-snap, confirming or denying or reassessing that information post-snap, and then quickly making decisions, man. He is getting the ball out so insanely fast right now. That you can't really get home on him. Because correct me if I'm wrong, guys, and I had to ask my producer this the other day because I'm not going through and charting every single play. But if my memory serves me correct, both of those horrendous sacks from Ty Simpson this weekend were on design play-action rollouts to his right. Am I correct on that, guys?
I believe so. Yes, sir.
All right. Every time he's in a traditional 3-step, 5-step, by the way, he's taking 5-step drops out of the gun in high school or in college football. I know that's not anything to anybody else, but to me, as a football nerd, I never see it. Nobody's doing it. He's the only kid doing it because he's the only kid they trust to take full-fledged 5-step drops. Anyways, when he's in a traditional drop back, dude, he is so clean. It's these things right now that he's doing as a rollout passer that we're just doing a little too much. If we remove that from our game, dude, there's not a mistake made on tape. For even the Florida State game, everybody's like, what changed? How much? Why is he playing? He's not. It's the same kid. He was playing great football against Florida State in my mind, too. That's why going into that Florida game, as an analyst for Georgia, I was petrified for their defense because I saw what this kid is. This kid, I'm not saying, I said this on my show, and when you say these things, everybody's like, shut up, bro. Just wait for it to happen. He wins at the quarterback position with the same neck up stuff that Tom Brady won with, that Drew Brees won with, that Peyton Manning won with, right? The quarterback position is so much about how much can you do with your brain and how accurate can you be with the football. All that other crap don't mean a hill of beans. It really don't. How pretty do you throw it? What do your mechanics look like? Like all that. Are you fast? Are you a great athlete? Can you make guys miss? Can you do off-platform stuff? How much do we hear about that nowadays? Ooh, he's got great arm talent. Like, it don't matter if you don't have great wits about you. Ty Simpson's one of the quickest learners I have seen at the quarterback position. Immediately walked in, was playing it like a pro. Honestly, there's been two since I've studied the sport. it's been Carson Beck and Ty Simpson, and I would take them 1 and 2. And if Dante Moore wants to be in this class, I'd probably take him 1 and then 2 and 3 with the other ones.
Well, and so obviously, we talked to Eli Hoff yesterday of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. He said that the secondary could be had. He thought for Missouri they'd struggled a little bit. Do you see this as a good matchup for Alabama? And I think Alabama's got to win a high-scoring game, but how do you see the matchup?
I don't know if it is a high-scoring football game. I don't know of a football team that's going to out-explosive Alabama this year. I said on our show, I think this game has a chance to have 15-plus, 20-plus yard plays in this football game. Like, I'm with you. I think it has an opportunity to be a chunk fest, right? Just chunks getting ripped both sides of the football. The only problem is I don't – did you say Eli Drinkowitz thinks Alabama's pass defense is chunkable? Did I just hear that?
No, this was Eli Hoff of the St.
Okay.
He thinks that Missouri's secondary is very shaky.
Okay, yeah, no, I could see something like that. I just don't understand. I don't know how Missouri's pass offense creates enough chunk plays in this football game to compete. That would be my biggest question going into this. Now, Eli does a really, really good job of stacking explosives, right? The moment Ahmad Hardy gets an explosive on Saturday, you can go ahead and bet your bottom dollar they're getting right back on the ball and they're going to hunt another one. So just know that. They can score quickly, but I wonder about – I mean, in SEC play, I think Bo Pribula's averaging like 210 yards of passing. Now, they've only played one SEC game, I think, and it's South Carolina. But, we'll see. We'll ultimately see.
You've done such a great job. And I know we talked Alabama, Georgia, or Alabama, Missouri, Auburn, Georgia, but I got to ask you real fast. How can Texas be favored to win over Oklahoma right now?
I saw you apologize about Arch and the Quinn Ewers thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Look, I think we're entering an era of college football where guys, so for my radio audience, I got a kitty fishing pole right here for the weekly fishy line. Okay. The line that is ultimately fishy, because in college football now, there's so many of these every single week. There's so many of these that we look up and we're like, that makes no sense. What the hell is going on? Vegas knows something. That crap is fishy. And what I think we're getting into, guys, is like, I don't watch a ton of Sunday NFL football. I don't. I think the product's watered down. I like college, all that good stuff. Like, I'm a college football guy.
Yes.
But when I look at betting lines on Sunday, they're all 3.5-point lines. They're all 2.5-point lines. They're all under a score. And I think we're getting to that level in college football, where every Saturday we're going to look up and we're like, that makes no sense. What does Vegas know that I don't know? Last week it was the Iowa State-Cincinnati line. And you know what they knew? Do you know what Vegas knew? They knew that Iowa State's nose tackle wasn't going to be in the football game. Big Orange, Big Citrus. They knew he wasn't going to be playing. So what did that mean? That means Cincinnati was going to roll the ball out there and rush for 200 damn yards in the first half of the football game. And that's exactly what they did. So Vegas obviously knows something. I think Vegas likes this Texas defense. Maybe they think they're going to come back and play a pissed-off version of football. If John Mateer is 90% of himself, they have an offensive advantage. I don't know how Texas consistently scores against Brett Venables with a absolute food at left guard. They have food at left guard out there at Texas right now, and it blows my mind. 2 of them. They were rotating guards against Florida and couldn't find a playable answer.
Well, that's why he's the film guy, because he's grinding the tape, no doubt about it. We love the intel from Brooks Austin. Thank you for the time, and I'm glad this time that I just got up out of the way and shut my mouth a little bit and let you talk.
Hey, no, I mean, you were out here doing the woe is me, don't think we got a chance. Like, shut up, you Bama fans. Shut up. Just be quiet.
Great stuff, man. We love the breakdowns. Thank you for the time, brother.
No doubt, boys. Y'all be good.
Thanks.
At Brooks Austin, BA, film guy on YouTube, man.
He even brought out the fishing pole for us. Did you see the fishing pole? We saw the fishing pole.
I won't bring up that because that just reminded me of Tennessee because he wore a Tennessee hat. I was thinking of Bill Dance. Damn it.
Let's get our final break in. Tomorrow's headlines wraps us all up next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Fall break is upon us, but the high school streaming network still rolls on in Week 7. We have 3 Thursday games, including our Game of the Week featuring Mae Jemison taking on Decatur. New Hope visits Bill Washington Stadium against Madison Academy, and Westminster Christian takes on Madison County. On Friday over the airwaves will be Buckhorn taking on Southside Gadsden, and Sparkman is at James Clements. Follow all the action on our streaming network all season long.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing. We have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates. Residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Where's the best place for sports? What about the best place for wings? If you answered Jefferson's for both, you're right. Jefferson's is also a great place for value. Every Monday, kids eat free with the purchase of an adult meal, and teachers bring your teacher ID and you eat free every first Tuesday of the month up to $15. Jefferson's, best place for sports, best place for wings, in Hampton Cove and our latest location, now open in New Market on Winchester Road.
Sure, Valley Equipment Rental takes care of the homeowner and his needs, but how about the pros out there? Well, Valley Equipment has the big stuff as well. The equipment you need to get any job done. I'm talking about the big track hoe excavators, from the 30,000-pound mid-size one to the big boy 50,000-pound units. Need a dozer on the job? Well, they've got them up to 105 horsepower, and that's a good-sized machine. Plus, Valley Equipment has more lifts than anyone around. Up to 80-foot booms that reach 56 feet with a 10,000-pound capacity. 2 locations, North and South Parkway. Check them out today.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com. It's time for tomorrow's headlines today with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The High School Athletic Association did announce yesterday, hate having to do these, but I do want to mention it, that they did have to, the East Lawrence High School will have to forfeit games against Lawrence County and West Limestone for playing an ineligible player. They've also been fined.
Not Columbia.
At first I thought, oh my gosh, this is how Columbia is going to get a win.
Right.
Albeit with an asterisk, I guess. But no, it is Lawrence County and West Limestone. And the other thing I want to pass along is, and this has gotten a lot of reaction from a lot of coaches here in the state of Alabama, high school wise. And that is the state of Georgia yesterday, their High School Athletic Association passed a rule that in all sports, they are going to go to straight seeding for the playoffs. For football, basketball, baseball, it doesn't matter. When you get to the playoffs, you're going to be seeded instead of having these predetermined brackets like we have here.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wish we could have that last year.
Yeah, well, it's something that a lot of coaches are saying, hey, state of Alabama, it's about time you joined the new wave or get on board with what should be right, and that is go to straight seeding instead of predetermined brackets.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
That's going to do it for the 2 hours. Big thank you, Grady the Greek,
B Ridge is already dreading y'all next week with this crap. Oh my God.
Only gets worse, buddy. And I'm not a fan.
Does it really matter which dealership you plan to buy from? Short answer is yes. Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford. Taking a little time to find out about the dealership before you buy can